let me ask you one question. To become a premium coffee or specialty coffee or beyond specialty coffee or whatever the premium name we use, we have to add one flavor. In the coffee production line, we call a farmer, processor, roaster, the barista, the coffee shop, and the consumer, of course, should add this a flavor, sixth flavor. What do you think this sixth flavor is? Any idea?
Love.
You're right, it's love. For example, say we are all of here today are conscious consumers, so they know the ingredient. So let me add, as an example, farmer. How can farmer add love? If the farmer pick ripe, unripe cherries, mixed, we lose the coffee quality by 35%. Did you know that? 35%. Then goes to the processor, roaster. The coffee shop plays the major role. Let's say all of us, we are going to a coffee shop. There's a person in this shop that we don't even realize he's so important. He's so important. We are all going to a coffee shop. The person who opens the door to us, if he's not smiling at us, if he's not giving whatever we want, if he's not caring for us, we're the customer, so we wouldn't be happy. We are not in that moment. So maybe we'll be angry, we will be not comfortable, so we will be not enjoying that cup of coffee. So the major part, the role is played by a person we don't even realize, the person who opens the door. Everybody matters in this chain of coffee. It's like the end is the consumer. If the consumer is not in that moment, if his mind is at home, if his mind is at work, if he's angry, if he's sad, so whoever the customer comes to the coffee shop supposed to welcome them in, make them sit, detect their emotions, make them comfortable, make a smile, and then serve the coffee. So that is the base of the discussion I'm going to talk to you today. Coffee is like music. When you go to a specialty coffee place, you all might have been to one of those. They say this coffee tastes like roses, orange, lavender, this. But it's coffee. Have you ever thought how does that flavor comes? There should be reasons. Coffee is a self-pollinating plant. So let's say we have the coffee flower blooming, and we have our roses blooming in our garden. So the base note of coffee is crafted as roses. So that is the C note. All other notes, D, E, F, G, are crafted after picking the coffee from the cherries. So based on these two factors I was talking about, coffee markets are categorized into three parts in the world. One is the commercial coffee market. In a commercial coffee market, when you go to a coffee shop or a commercial coffee place, if you ask what is this coffee, they rarely might know it's the variety, but they wouldn't know where it's coming from, when it was roasted, and all these minute details. But if you go to a specialty coffee place, if you ask where this coffee comes from, they would know where it's coming from, which country, which altitude, which farmer, how it was processed, when it was roasted. They would know everything until it comes to your hand. We are talking about a market called beyond specialty coffee. Specialty coffee, they talk from picking the coffee cherry from the tree and coming to your cup. But beyond specialty, we are talking about from the flowering stage of the coffee. Because our country is a very small country when compared to the coffee industry. Because coffee industry, there are 2 billion coffee consumers in the world, 2.5 billion of cups of coffee consumed every day. This is a huge market. This is the industry next to the oil industry in the world. This is a massive industry in the world. But as a whole, Sri Lanka producing coffee, we cannot practically go and compete with the commercial markets. Because you get better coffee for very lower price from countries like India, Ethiopia, Brazil, Vietnam, all sort of large-scale coffee farming countries. But our country is a very small country which has a very small landscape. So the most practical approaches we can have as a coffee producing community in this country to approach to specialty and beyond specialty coffee markets. So I'm not going to talk about specialty coffee, but I'm going to talk about beyond specialty, which is very new to us. But countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, they have already approached these markets and they are heavily moving on this. when it comes to tourism and beyond specialty coffee markets. For example, let's say, okay, I'll take a product which we serve in our place today in Norelia, which was grown at 1,380 meters above sea level. Its main variety was Arabica, sub-variety is 9. It's a wash process, and we freshly roast coffee in our place to consumers' needs every day. So that plantation is very unique. That lies in the border of Horton Plains. So it's a 100-acre land, which 1/4 is coffee, the rest is tea. So as soon as you taste the coffee, it's like black tea because of self-pollination. So the base note of coffee is crafted by the self-pollination. If somebody is, let's say we have bees in our farms during the flowering, so the flavor, the base note is way enhanced. So we can feel it well. So it also has a touch to rosemary, wild herbs like rosemary, oregano, and a flower called chrysanthemum. Plus, there is this very unique flavor which we Sri Lankans only have. Have you heard about a flower called Maharatmala? The scientific name is very long, I cannot remember. This Maharatmala is only in Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, it blooms only in the Horton Plains. Every year it blooms at the same time when the coffee flower is blooming in the same valley. So the base note of this plantation is that flower. So we are talking to a market beyond specialty. These are very niche markets in the world. For example, when you go to Thailand, they play with cannabis. Coffee farmers grow cannabis in their farm. During their main purpose is pollination. So they have bees because the stigma cannot be pollinated through the wind. So they use bees. So when this coffee is crushed, when this coffee is drunk in a method like V60, a drip coffee method, the base notes are in that certain strength they have planted. So these are very niche. I think a kilo costs around $5,000. So these are sold at very high-end markets. So Sri Lanka is a country we have such potential to pitch all our products to high-end niche markets. These are very conscious markets. It's like when the consumer is more knowledge about the product, so we need a product for our knowledge or more. We don't want to invest on low knowledgeable products. So this is how the consumer is gain his consciousness with time. So we are evolving, humans are evolving with time. Every product has evolved. Coffee is a product you cannot hide ingredients. If you buy a chocolate, they can hide ingredients. If you buy any processed food, they can hide ingredients. But coffee is a product you cannot hide ingredients. It's natural. And if you search about coffee in internet for many hours, you can find more knowledge. So the coffee markets evolve with knowledge. So coffee is a market which evolves very fast when compared to all other industries. So when the consumer's knowledge is very high, so the producer should have even more knowledge to cater to their product. So this is what we do from Sri Lanka. We have been starting this from 2021. As before, actually for this year it's 12 years for my coffee research, but 2021 we started this as a business. Before that it was our hobby, planting coffee. So 2021, before 2021 I was in a different career. So I thought of, okay, aircrafts were grounded, so I had to stay with my plants. So I thought, okay, I should do a business. I started a roasting business. I placed my place on Google Maps for my friends to find. But unexpectedly, travelers, the tourists started coming to my place to see the coffee plants and buy roasted coffee. Every day somebody is coming. For now, there have been over 6,000 people, over 65 countries who have visited my place. They are all coffee freaks. So it's a huge potential. Out of 2 billion, 10% of the coffee consumers are conscious consumers. So these people, they come looking for it. So it's a matter of how we pitch our products. Our country is very unique. Our country is a tropical country. We are all talking about the soil. We don't talk about things we don't see, like the atmospheric pressure, the gravity. So these are the things are very unique to produce Sri Lankan products more unique to the world. For example, when it comes to coffee, We have no rights to say Sri Lankan coffee is the best coffee, Ethiopian coffee is the best coffee, Brazilian coffee is the best coffee. We have no rights. But if somebody asks, because if somebody likes Ethiopian, somebody else likes Brazilian, that's the case person. But if somebody asks, where does the best coffee in Sri Lanka grows? Where does the best coffee in India grows? Where does the best coffee in Ethiopia grows? We can answer scientifically. That is the highest place we can go and plant coffee. That is depending upon the atmospheric pressure. Like when let's say when you fly in the aircraft 8,000 feet and above, you cannot breathe. The reason is atmospheric pressure is less for you to take oxygen inside. Oxygen is there, the pressure is not there. Same. Every plant, every vegetable, every tree, including coffee, face this challenge when come to high altitude. They are having hard time doing its process inside the tree. So the tree gives energy slowly. There are 2 beans in one cherry. So this stores energy as acids and sugars to the beans very slowly. So higher the altitude, the maximum, like let's say you take a coffee bean, you zoom the coffee bean. Physically we can see atoms and molecules. If you go beyond that, you call it spirituality, there's nothing there, but we don't want to go that far. We'll see what we see. We see atoms and molecules. So the atom to atom distance between in a bean is very closely packed. There are more atoms when compared to higher altitudes, compared to coffee beans in low altitude. So the coffee is heavy, energies are more, aromas more, flavors are more. So scientifically, if I explain the quality, we can go deep into the atoms. So this is the conscious consumer we are facing. This conscious consumer has the atomic structure. This conscious consumer has they ask questions. So asking questions is what takes a product forward. So we are 100% sure, all the people who have visited that are 100% satisfied. So Sri Lanka has more potential for conscious consumers than commercial production, because our economy, when we compare to our economy, our farmers need more to get more paid. Our laborers need to get more paid. So my conclusion because it's a short period of time, so I'm getting the signal wrong. So if you have any other questions, like I can answer any of your questions regarding to coffee and how to pitch to a conscious consumer with the past experiences. So the floor is yours.
We can take a question or two.
Comes from me. I don't drink coffee. We start with that. My question comes from point of view of medical practitioner, mainly dabbling with nanoparticle medicine. Have you considered green coffee?
Yes.
And the millions of possibilities that has for medicine?
True. You are right. So we have considered that coffee has 9 types of acids. That's how the coffee plant gives energy to the coffee bean, and it has sugars. So by roasting, what we have done is we convert these energies to oil by dehydrating the bean, evaporating the moisture, and caramelizing the energy, so it converts green to brown. So that's oil. So human can enjoy the aromas and the flavors if you roast. And when it comes to medical point of view, we always encourage our consumers to use green coffee unless or otherwise they have some tummy challenges. Because if you drink 100% acidic anything, your body is going to react. So it's not going to be very good for your day. So unless they have some gastritis or whatever the tummy related challenges, we recommend them to use green coffee for the weight reduction. Because more than green tea, 100%, it's more than 100%. The product is green coffee. But